The Mixtape Podcast. The Mixtape Podcast. The Mixtape Podcast.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Mixtape Episode 2.
Episode 2.
Wow, it's been quite a ride, hasn't it?
Quite a ride.
Yeah, I mean,
second episode.
Like, it's been a journey.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, as you guys know, I'm Cassette.
And I'm Luca.
And yeah, so I guess maybe we could just talk a little bit about the last episode. We seem to get pretty good response on it.
We got a great response.
Yeah, I was really surprised, like, how everybody seemed to tune in and really
leave all their positive comments about our stories and how awesome I am.
Well, we edited a lot of that to make Luca in a better light. But yeah, I guess people seem to like your stories. That did seem to be
seem to like them. I was just joking. No one likes me. Remember, I have no friends.
That's true. I'm actually a paid actor, so
yeah.
I mean, yeah, people really seem to like the stories. You know, like about the homeless dudes, about the funny like love stories. And, you know, I thought when we were thinking about that, we still have some pretty good stories.
I got so many never-ending stories.
It never ends.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, one thing I thought, like, a lot of the Slow Can homies really seem to tune into our podcast, and we have some really good stories with them, like, back in the day.
Yeah, so many childhood stories.
I mean, we were talking to some of the friends, and then I wanted to kind of reflect back on some stories, and I was thinking about, like, when we were young, smoking weed, doing things we shouldn't have been doing, fucking around.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, do you have any funny weed stories, or what?
Weed stories? Oh, yeah. I mean, where to start, right? Yeah, so, one time, I almost burnt down my house.
Ooh, do tell.
Yeah, so it was
I always laugh at the expense of your
my
life.
death.
Your safety.
Yeah. Yeah, so it was like me, Dan, and Alex, shout out, and we were hotboxing my dad's bathroom with a bong and a hookah.
And how old were you guys?
Fuck, I don't know, like 15, 16?
Okay. That's not too bad, I guess. Yeah.
But I remember we had such a crazy hotbox where it was, it was a Hawaiian hotbox. So we had the shower going at the same time.
Yeah.
And it was like so compressed with smoke. Like Dan or Alex like passing the bong, and it was just like a hand through like a cloud of smoke.
Yeah.
Like that's what it was like.
Yeah.
And then I remember we opened the door. We basically like collapsed out of the door, like crawled to the kitchen, and was like laughing about what we just did. And Alex went to the bathroom and then comes back and says, "There's a hookah coal burning on your bathroom floor. I guess it fell out of the hookah." And I was like, "Did you do anything about it?" He's like, "No." So I run back in, and there's a hookah coal burning into the linoleum of the floor, and I'm so fucking high, I don't know what to do, and I just grabbed it with my hand, and I threw it into the sink.
Did you get really burned?
No,
wow.
Surprisingly not.
You're lucky. I thought you would have said you got like a second degree burn.
That's what I would have thought. But then I came back like, what the fuck? Like,
yeah.
Yeah, it was funny, and then that burn mark is still in my dad's kitchen.
Those are precious memories,
in my dad's bathroom. And I remember asking my dad, like, he renovated the house, and I was like, "Why didn't you fix the bathroom floor?" And he's like, "It's a good memory."
That's funny.
Yeah.
I mean, it kind of reminds me of a story as well. Like, I was like 13, and my parents gave me a lot of freedom. And with that being said, I remember it was like the summer of 2003. God, I feel so old saying that. So we're talking like 20 years ago. And my family's like, yeah, we're going away for, for the summer. Milo was going to be babysitting you guys,
Who's
watching
Milo?
over you. So Milo was like my cousin. Basically, he was a person my brother adopted, informally adopted. But he was 23 at the time, and he was fucking around too. He was also kind of just a kid.
Yeah.
And so I basically 13 years old, got the whole summer off, and somehow I get my hands on this garbage bag full of weed. And me and my friend are basically rolling up like 5 paper joints and with like tobacco and shit. Just disgusting, but we thought we were like so gangster doing it. And Milo opens up the garbage bag weed. He's like, yo, Cassie, like, you shouldn't be smoking that. That's super moldy shake.
Yeah.
And I didn't know anything about good weed, bad weed, and we were like, what? And like, we had been smoking this moldy ass shake, and we like went and looked in it later, and there was like toothpicks and like dog hair.
Oh.
Basically, it was just the trimmings you like sweep off.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we survived, but I mean, it was still pretty funny, and that was quite a summer to remember.
Yeah. The amount of weed we had access to when we were a kid, man. It's fucking a little bit concerning looking back at it.
Okay.
Oh, I knew it was gonna happen. I fucking knew it.
Okay, pause.
Oh, wait, no. By the way, this is good.
We're doing okay?
This is Jordan's fucking wedding present.
Oh.
I didn't get to go to your wedding.
Aw.
And this is what I was gonna get you. There's also a Who.
So who's the band then?
Spoon. Got him this too, because he got me into the Who as well.
Oh, cool. I love the Who.
But I missed your wedding. Sorry, man.
Well, it wasn't your fault. Your plane couldn't land, so okay, cool.
Oh, shit is just falling down. We tried to be cool and set up a background,
Shit out of
and
me.
it didn't work.
Oh my god.
Should we set it back up? I really like this thing.
Sure. It's your stuff, bro.
Fuck, the house is just gonna explode.
Are we pausing?
No, fuck it. We're gonna keep it. Keep it in. Oh, whatever. Where were we?
Basically, I think we were just talking about funny weed stories and stuff.
Yeah. You got me concerned about that.
I just think we ended up smoking weed and
Jesus Christ.
it's coming back for you.
We're fucking
Uma Thurman wants your blood.
I know. All right.
Hey, Luca.
We're back after some technical difficulties.
You should do like a little part there. It's like,
Oh,
like technical
yeah,
difficulties. Then go
yeah.
back into the new one.
That's a great idea. Or they do the SpongeBob thing.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah. All right. So we're talking about weed, and now we're talking about
Yeah, like I was basically just saying like how we were like had way too much access to weed as a kid, but also I think it was a little different because weed was a bit illegal and everyone was growing it, and
yeah, it was the times. But I also just wanted to like segue into like the freedom we had.
yeah, for sure.
Yeah, which was I think a good thing and a bad thing.
Yeah.
But there is a story that really sticks out in my memory with Dan Berg, fucking another reference to Dan.
Dan's been in this quite a bit.
Yeah, he's my homie. Miss you, Dan. So when we were very young, I can't even remember how old we were. Like we must have been like 10 to 12 years old.
Okay.
And
Which is pretty young.
which is pretty fucking young. We're hanging out at Allie Ingram's house.
Yeah.
Shout out to Allie. And we had to go home. And Allie lives up a long fucking back road in Slocan, which has, I think, a few lights. Not even that many lights.
Not on the back
Not
road.
on the back road. And
In the middle of the forest.
yeah, it's in the middle of the
Pitch
forest.
black.
And we had to walk home from Allie's into Slocan. And we were walking on that back road, and it's so dark that, and the sky's so big, and it's lit up with stars, and the starlight is giving you just enough light so you can see a few feet in front of you. And then we would walk. Once you get in sort of close to town, you reach that big hill that goes down near Wyatt's house. Shout out to Wyatt. And that's where the lake is. And then the moon cascades off the water and it lights up everything so you can finally see.
Yeah.
And it was so scary getting to that point. And me and Dan would sing a song from South Park that goes, I love cheesy poos, you love cheesy poos. We didn't have cheesy poos, we'd be lame. And we'd sing that all the way until that hill.
And then you think about it, you're like, where the fuck were our parents?
Yeah.
Like,
and like a
hey,
bear.
Did we get home okay? Like
a bear, a cougar could have got us. Some random stranger could have took us away.
Yeah, totally.
Like it was pretty crazy looking back on it.
You just opened the door, Mom, I'm home. Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
My dad wasn't even home when I got home.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad that you survived that. I mean, yeah, we did seem to have like a lot of freedom. I remember like even just like some crazy house parties growing up. Like sometimes like our parents would just be gone and we just like throw all these parties and I don't know, for some reason it's stuck in my mind. I remember being at a house party in Nelson and it was like all the Slow Can friends and we're all out in Nelson and there's a house party and it was like all these guys that like we didn't even know who they were and I was like, yeah, man, like I could fucking battle rap all you boys and just mop you off the floor. And they're like, yeah, fucking right. And basically we had this like battle rap in like Heather Ling's kitchen.
Oh yeah.
And basically I killed it and totally schooled this random guy. And the whole house party was just like, wow, oh my God, like that's awesome. And like everyone was freaking out and my friend that was like rooting for me was like, hi, see, I told you that Cassie would murder you on the mic or whatever. And the guy got so angry and he's like, fuck you guys, like I'll fight all you guys. And I just think it's just so stupid.
Yeah.
And one of our buddies was like, yeah, fine, I'll fight you too. And he grabs him and throws him out the fucking door. Jesus. Kicks the shit out of him. And we're like, yo, man, we gotta split. The cops are coming. So we all had to like leave the fucking house party because this battle rap broke out. And I mean, if you can't take the heat, get the fuck out of the kitchen, literally.
Yeah, for sure.
Can I have a sip of that drink? My mouth's so parched.
Oh, you got water.
No, I just filled it up.
And you left it. Yeah, I can see it. It's over there.
That's better.
Do you want it? You want me to get it for you?
Yeah, that'd be great. I'm thinking too, just cutting for a second.
Okay, so we're back. I got Cassie her water.
Do we really need to tell people
We
we're back?
do. Because that's just.
Can't you just edit it?
We're gonna keep it.
Just like how you kept that part when I was talking about being stoned?
Yeah.
Right, Ivy?
Yeah. So, you were talking about the battle rapping, which was hilarious. And it gets me thinking about when I used to perform with Dope Sounds. And we did a show outside. Sorry, she's distracting me. So cute. We did a show that was close to Mount Sentinel. I forget what part of Slogan.
So people that don't know, Mount Sentinel was our old high school.
Yeah. So it was like up this back road, and there was like a few hundred people there. It was like a bumpin' hippie party. Yeah. And there was this dude who was hosting the show, or putting the show on, and he was tweaking on some drugs, and he was performing before we got there, and we were supposed to go on after him.
Okay.
And then he finishes his set, and then he lets me on. I do 2 songs, and then he comes back on the stage all fucking high, like, hey, get the fuck off, it's my turn again. And I was like, we just got here.
Yeah.
And he was like, this is my show, my rules, get off the stage. And I was like, okay, let's make the crowd decide. It's like, who wants to play this douchebag or Dope Sounds?
Dope Sounds!
Yeah, everyone was like, Dope Sounds, yeah! And,
I bet you felt pretty cool, hey?
I felt like the shit. And he was like, yeah, okay. And then he let me finish my set, and then Dope Sounds did their thing. And I don't even think they got to finish their set before he came back on again. And Dope Sounds was like, whatever, just like fucking play. But I remember there was a girl who I know who was in the crowd. He's like, you were so awesome on stage. Like, you're like, you know, I want you in my pants. And then like the whole night I was hitting on her and she didn't I didn't get laid.
So she was just a tease.
Yeah.
Or maybe you just didn't really have the moves like you thought you did.
Trifling bitches.
Womp
Womp womp. But still fun. Good memory.
Yeah. Oh, man. It just sounds like typical musicians with like so much ego. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
I don't know. I feel like, you know, as us both being rappers, I've been doing it like, God, like 20 years now. You know, I just kind of noticed one thing too is like music is just like, especially in the hip hop scene, is so much different than it used to be. Like back in the day, like, I don't know if you remember, but like, there was like a lot more criteria that you had to meet in order to like gain your respect. Like you needed to like freestyle off the top. You know, you had to have like lyrical substance to your music. No backtracks. Like now, yeah, you had to be like a real artist. Sorry, not sorry, but it's like some of the musicians now, it's like they're like completely rapping over all their tracks. Like for people that don't know what we're talking about, like literally just playing the song and they're rapping along to it.
Lip syncing.
Well, I wouldn't say lip syncing.
It is lip syncing.
Is
It's
it?
full on lip syncing.
Okay.
What else would it be? Like, yeah.
Well, I always thought lip syncing was like you just.
Oh, well, yeah, but it's pretty much that.
Yeah,
I
I mean
mean,
it's like a karaoke.
Yeah. It requires no skill.
No skill. I mean, I just saying, like back in my day, like you had to earn your respect as an MC.
Yeah.
And I remember it wasn't always easy for me, but like, I mean, there's some amazing talent in the city now.
Oh, there's some crazy people out here.
But like, God, I remember, for example, this one kid, like, he's so good. Like, he was better than me, man. But like, he was performing and he like did an outfit change in the middle of his song.
That's ballin'.
And like the song is still going though, so you
Oh.
wouldn't even know that the song stopped. He's like not even at the mic. He's like changing his sweater, and the lyrics are still going. And I'm like, what the fuck? And I had to call him out, and I probably
Yeah.
came off as such a bitch. But I was like, dude, why do you do that? Like you have so much skill. But then I just
So
realized
much
like
potential.
that's just how it is now for the younger generation. Like it's normal.
Oh, anytime I've done a show in the city, they're all just lip syncing. It's just playing over a backing track. It's just the norm.
I don't know. I know a lot of people feel some type of way. I mean,
Dude, the last show I went to, there was a dude doing fucking, what would you call it? Like metal rap?
okay.
But like over hip hop tracks?
Bada bang, biggie jump,
And, like-
jump, sit up, jump the boogie big. Sorry, you know that Kid Rock song?
Oh, yeah.
Ball with the bada bang, the bang, boogie.
But yeah, but it was like metal infused rap, and he was acting like a devil and like jumping up on the fucking speakers. I swear he did a bunch of blow before he went on stage. And it was just really funny and entertaining. And it was
Where was this?
This was when I was performing at the Fortune. And it was the last show I did. I think you went there. It was when I was performing with Oleg, the saxophone player.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I was there.
Yeah, that was a fun night.
I mean, it's crazy. Like, I also do remember, like, I don't know, like 5 years ago, you were in a band.
Oh, yeah.
Luca was like the front line singer of a band. And I was like, basically your
Imagine
guys'
me, my beautiful voice in front of a band without auto-tune.
And I was like basically your guys' groupie.
Yeah, you were banging the guitar player.
Hey now.
You gotta work your way in somehow.
I do have a little bit of a past. Yeah, I was actually banging the guitar player.
That was a cool guy. For a time.
Yeah.
For a time. Shout out to Matt.
Cross our T's and dot our I's on that one.
Yeah. But yeah, that was
Anyways,
fun.
moving on from that. Yeah. Because I remember you guys were like playing.
Oh, we got really tight at the end. Like,
Tight butthole.
yeah, we were just, yeah. Good orgies. But no, we got like a few solid songs down, and we were renting out this recording / jam space out in New West.
Okay.
And me and the other guitar player, not Matt, we decided to do acid and not tell anybody and do this jam.
So you were just rehearsing high on LSD?
Yeah.
With nobody knowing?
No, we're just not going to tell anybody.
Yeah.
And it was the most fun jam I have ever had. I was killing it on the mic, and I just saw Tyler, the guitar player, just like so into
Some Jimi
it.
Hendrix shit.
And the funny thing was, we were having a tryout for a piano, this female piano player, and she picked up right away. She was like, "What's up with you two?" And we're like, "Well, we did some acid," and yeah, it was still a fun jam.
And how did the band members react when you said that?
They didn't care. I mean, they were kind of blown away. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
But we just played it off. It was so much fun. Like, yeah, it was the best. And then after the jam, me and fucking Tyler just hung out and played music until like 3 a.m. And then he drove me home and then went to work the next day.
Wow.
And he texted me saying that he was so tired at work, and he was working at a construction site.
Oh.
And he just found some like quiet closet in like the apartments he was renovating and took a nap.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
That's OG shit right there, man.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. I've also like jammed out on mushrooms. It's so much fun doing hallucinogens and playing music.
Well, I mean, honestly, like, I'm really into, like, classic rock, and, like, a lot of those bands, like, The Who, Jimi Hendrix, like, Led Zeppelin, Santana, like, there was a lot of LSD involved, like, in that circa of, like, 1960s,
The whole story
1970s.
of Santana, like, doing LSD for the first time at Woodstock.
Yeah, I know, man.
He said it like the guitar turned into a snake, and he had to like control the snake.
Yeah, so what happened was, at the time, Santana, Carlos Santana, they were like the underdogs, right? And like the Woodstock was one of the biggest music festivals of all time, and Carlos Santana's never did LSD before.
Yeah.
And so somebody offered it to him, and he's like, yeah, I mean, okay. So long story short, he ended up doing it because he knew he didn't have to play till later that night. And there was some adjustments in the schedule. So he did it, and like an hour or so later, they're like, yo, Santana, like, you guys are up next. And he's like, what? Like, I thought we weren't playing till later. Like, yo, man, like, there's been a change in schedule. He's like kind of humming and hawing. Like, if you don't go now, you're not going. And I don't know if you guys seen that clip, but like, he played fucking amazing. And he goes back in an explanation of that experience. And he's like saying that he had done everything he possibly could to play on time. And he was hallucinating so much that the guitar literally looked like a snake, and he was like trying to hold the snake and like play.
Control the snake.
And you know, it's cool because that specific performance really raised their credibility and exposure, and they became more successful just from how well they played and stuff. So just saying, like, sometimes, you know, substances can enhance your performance.
Sometimes. I heard I also heard or saw another clip. I don't remember if this is fully true, but I think that was the first and last time he ever did acid.
I'm not sure.
Yeah.
So it probably scared him straight.
Yeah. But there's a weird thing, like, about music and drugs. Like, it seems like, and also having, like, a jaded past. I feel like the best musicians and the best artists, the best comedians, all come from, like, a jaded past, substance abuse, turning it around and turning it into art.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure. Just finding art and like struggle.
Yeah.
That's interesting. Yeah, I mean, that was cool that you were in a band and stuff. Like, we really...
Yeah, it was fun times.
That was a long time ago, wasn't it? That was like when we were living together.
Oh, yeah, we were living together at that time, weren't we?
Yeah, we like lived together for 3 different places and
Yeah.
always seem to have issues with landlords. Always. Like, do you remember that one time? Okay. So we're living at this place. There's the landlords live upstairs. And there's this really nice white carpet. I'm sorry, but as a landlord, you should not have a white carpet in the living room. It's just bound to get dirty.
Facts.
And I'm sitting in the middle of the carpet painting my toenails with this
red
bright
nail
red
polish.
nail polish. And you're like, you're going to spill that nail polish. And I'm like, no, I'm not.
Well, no. Well, it wasn't quite that. It was like, I told you, move that nail polish. You're not going to fucking, you're going to wreck the carpet. Like, shut up, Luca. I know what I'm doing. And then I went to the bathroom and I heard, oh, shit.
So, yeah, I remember, like, the whole bottle of nail polish, like, spilling all over the floor. And then the other time was, like, I'm in the bathroom. And I'm trying to change the light bulb. And I'm standing on the sink. And I fucking break the whole sink. Like the porcelain sink in half. Remember that?
Yeah.
I mean,
That was
would
crazy.
Probably cost like a lot of fucking money to fix. I actually have a story to tell that I never
Oh, no.
You were working up north. And you had this like weird, funky, cool like lamp thing. I don't know. It was like this cool lamp that looked like that minimalistic like lamp that you really like.
Minimalistic lamp.
And when we
yeah.
and I was having a good time on the couch, if you know what I mean. And I accidentally kicked the lamp over and broke it.
That's what happened to that lamp.
And then you
I love that lamp.
And then you came back, you're like, what happened to the lamp? I'm like, yeah, it just fell over. Like, I'm so sorry. I actually think I blamed it on my ex-boyfriend.
Oh. That was my mom's lamp.
Oh my God, speaking of your mom.
Yeah.
Okay,
Segue.
so we are basically ending our tenancy at that house we were just talking about where I spilled the nail polish and broke the sink. And we're moving us into the new place, and Luca is wrapping up like the walk through the house when we leave. And I'm like, we're on the phone, and I'm like, and Luca's with his mom. You're with your mom.
Yes.
And I'm like, Luca, like, make sure you try to get our damage deposit back. We totally cleaned that house up. Like, we definitely deserve our damage deposit back. And then all of a sudden I can hear a fight.
Wait, hold on.
going
We're skipping too far ahead. So what happened I was doing the walkthrough with the landlord, and you mentioned earlier that I should get the damage deposit back. But as I was doing the walkthrough, I was like, we don't deserve the damage deposit, right?
I'm like, get the damage deposit.
We're not doing this, right? And then we end up leaving, and I'm driving away. For some reason, you were on the phone the whole time. I don't know fucking why. And you never leave my side, Cassie. And my mom's like, we got to get that damage deposit.
Yeah, because I think I was like, you got to get the damage deposit.
You're on the phone. We got to get that damage deposit.
So it's like me and your mom.
Fuck, yeah. So fuck, we go back. And I'm like, I want that damage deposit. And my mom's like, get out of the way. And starts yelling at the landlord, who has like it's like the lawn, and then they have like their house, and then there's a deck on the top of the house. And the landlord's wife gets up, runs down into the yard with a Hail Mary, ready to punch my mom in the face. And you were on the phone. And I was like, no! And I stopped, and they're screaming, and I can hear you like, what's going on? Like, the landlord's gonna beat up my mom.
Yeah, I'm getting on the phone. I'm like, show this, and be like, dude, get the fuck away from my mom. And then I can hear like screaming.
I had to pull them apart like little kids, and like, why did I go back?
And I remember specifically a few times being at my ex-boyfriend's and getting a phone call from the landlord, like, what's going on down there? I can hear everything. Are you guys having a party? And I'm like, I don't even know. I'm not there.
Or they called you a retard through the fucking wall.
Oh, man, yeah. So basically I come home, I pull up, and the landlord's outside looking through my window into the living room, and she sees me pull up in front. She sees me and like starts walking away really fast, and I come inside the house and I phone you and I'm like, yeah, dude, I just caught the landlord peeking through her window. Mm-hmm. And all of a sudden I can hear, I wasn't looking through your window, you fucking retard. She was listening at me through the fucking door. And I thought that was pretty bad. And I was like, and then I was like, excuse me, you know what? I work with people with special needs and I do not appreciate you using that kind of language. And she's like, you're a fucking retard. I'm like, we should have just left then. But.
Yeah. I'm so glad we left that place.
So, I mean, coming to the conclusion of the second episode, like, I know sometimes we talk about what we're working on with music. I'm not doing too much. I'm kind of working on my album still. I got a show coming up in Nanaimo.
Yeah.
But I
wish
know,
I could come to that one.
I know.
Yeah.
Why can't you come?
Work. Who knows? I might be able to swing it. We'll see.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I know you've been working on a song about your brother.
Yeah, that has been a fucking journey, man.
You should talk a little bit about the AI stuff, too.
I'll get in there. I'll get in there. Yeah, I'll talk about it. But I first want to, like, go back to the very beginning because,
Can we stop? I have to pee so bad.
All right.
A few moments later.
I know Cassie's a lot. She's so needy, and you're probably overwhelmed. It's okay, I feel ya. I'd be skittish if I were you too. Yeah, so I wanted to talk about like the very beginning of that song because I made like a first rendition about that song, and I think it was a bit much. It was a little heavy.
Right.
And plus, like, the chorus wasn't very good. And, I mean, my family seemed to like it a lot, but... And then there were a few other people...
Do you think people should know this is about a song about your brother that
Yeah,
passed away?
yeah, sorry.
People may not really know what that means.
Yeah, we kind of just dipped into it. Yeah, so my brother recently died in February, and, yeah, so Chevy...
Rest in peace, Chevy.
Yeah.
I know it was his birthday the other day.
Yeah. And, he loved my music. He was, like, my biggest fan. Aww. And, you know, maybe not this episode, but, I think it might be cool to do a podcast talking about Chevy and I's relationship.
Okay.
I don't know if you'd be into doing that, but, like...
Yeah.
I think we had a really fucked up relationship. And I think a lot of people don't really know what our relationship was like.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
And, like, the gist of it is I didn't really know my brother until his accident. So my brother fell off a 4-story building in Mexico and got paralyzed from the waist down, which is heavy. And, but yeah... I slowly got to know him after his accident and realized what an amazing person he was. And then he, like, because of his accident, he fell in love with my music.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah. And I think he also felt guilty from the way he treated me.
Right.
But, yeah, he was always interested in what I was doing. So, like, making a song, I had to do it, right?
Yeah, for sure.
And yeah, I think the first rendition of that song was a bit much. It was very truthful about his actions with alcohol, and I think maybe the people I showed it to maybe didn't fully understand where I was coming from. So I really feel like I need to redo it.
Okay.
In a more lighthearted way, and I felt like. I didn't really, like, usually when I make songs that I'm really proud of, I have to work with, like, musicians.
Right, yeah.
Like the song My Life.
Yeah, for sure.
And, because And like being a producer, I find it so hard to like find good samples, and like working on a beat is just like an endless process. And
Yeah.
I'm always trying to figure out new ways to do it. And so I was dicking around with AI, and my buddy showed me Sona. So I uploaded my track to Sona as a reference track, and it spit out these different versions of my song. And just being a producer, I was able to manipulate it, bring it into other programs, extract the stems, so just like the guitar, the horns, the drums, and rebuild everything in Ableton Live. And it's just insane.
Yeah, it's
what you
crazy
can
what
do with
AI
that.
can do now.
Yeah, and that may be cheating. You might not think like, oh, you're not a real artist, but I don't lip sync for tracks.
Well, you wrote the music.
Yeah,
you composed the music.
yeah,
it's just giving you some additional ideas.
No, exactly. And then I use a program called Wondershare that you can upload an image and it will create like a, I don't know, 5 to 10-second clip of video from that image. So now I'm gonna create a video using AI by using uploaded images.
That's awesome. Yeah, and I saw a little clip of it. It looked really good.
Yeah, I think it's cool and holds a lot of potential, and it's just gonna get better and better. And I know there's better programs to generate videos from images or just AI video in general.
Right.
But yeah, it's been quite a journey making that song, man. Just, I don't know if you know what it's like to just like redo a song over and over until you're like, I finally fucking got it.
Yeah, I mean, I've been there
Yeah.
too. And I think sometimes it's good just to try not to fixate too much on it and just let it be released into the world.
Yeah,
sometimes
dude.
we never release music because we get so obsessive about it.
Yeah, and that's one like reason I really like this podcast is because I feel like my life is music. Like that's all I do all day, but I don't share any of it. And I feel like this podcast is just a good way for the both of us to just create something and tell people what we do, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's a form of expression and it's not easy either. Like I find sometimes when we do this podcast, I'm like, oh, I didn't like that or blah, 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 blah. But I mean, it's just good to do something and
Yeah, have something to look forward to.
yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And I know a lot of people like that know we've been doing this podcast have asked to be on the podcast.
Really?
Like
No one's
having,
asked
like-
me.
Yeah, a few people have asked me if I'm like looking for guests.
Oh, snap.
Or maybe like additional musicians that want to talk about their experiences with
Do
music.
you know who I want to talk to? Is Vicious 5150.
Yeah.
Dude, I like him. He's cool as shit. I've ran into him a few times at the show. He's good.
He would love to be on this podcast.
Yeah, I'm calling
and
you out, motherfucker.
I just interviewed him with the Boom Bap Video Show, and he's great. I know he'd love to be on the podcast.
Yeah. The thing I really respect about him is, dude, he's like fucking spam with his uploads, man. He's constantly uploading shit daily.
Yeah.
And
he's
he
really-
produces his own music and raps. Like, and he's in
and he
shows all the
performs all the time. He's
Yeah.
very consistent. Yeah.
Yeah, it makes me feel like I'm doing nothing.
Well, we're doing this podcast right now.
Yeah.
So, I'm really looking forward to the 3rd episode, and maybe we'll have a guest next time. That might be fun.
Yeah, that'd be sick.
Awesome. So yeah, if you guys think we should do more podcasts like this, maybe you could comment below in the comment section. Maybe you guys could give us some ideas on topics to talk about.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Yeah, I mean, again, this is the Mixtape Podcast.
Number 2.
Number 2. My name's Cassette.
My name's
I
Luca.
appreciate you guys tuning in, and we're looking for the next podcast. So keep showing us love. Subscribe to the channel. We're local independent artists, so our success a lot of it is based on your guys' support.
Yeah. I think that's it.
I think that's it.